everybody. It is Lori Key, the Realty Goddess of Los Angeles, California. I help to establish the community one house at a time. And a part of that is educating you on what you can do to help with your generational wealth, what to do with your homes, how to buy a home, how to sell a home. There's a whole bunch of life skills that you need that are centered around your home. And today, once again, we have my expert, Cedric Collins. Hi, Cedric. How are you?
Hi, Laura. How are you doing today? Thank you for having me.
Doing great. We just got through talking, I know, before we started recording on how important these things are and how it's really opening a lot of people's eyes up. We're getting great comments on the series. And today we're actually going to talk about essential documents that you need. And in real estate, there are many essential documents when you're in escrow, when you're assigning who owns the home, who's going to be on the deed. You know, those types of things are extremely essential. But once that part is done, there's still more to it. So let's talk today a little bit about the essential documents that people need in order to move forward with their generational wealth, with their estate planning, what they need to do and what they need to know, because it's not just one document. So can you share with us some of that information?
Absolutely, Laura. And I like this topic because oftentimes we're approached to review wills, to review living trusts, just to see if they're for their completeness and see if they're still valid under the law and things of that nature. But something that's often overlooked as we're reviewing these estate plans that are submitted to us is that there are no essential supporting documents to that will or to that living trust. Now, what do we mean by essential documents? Because with estate planning, we like to believe that it doesn't just talk about address issues around death, but what if you survive?
Yes.
Right? What if you're in a car accident and you're on a coma for a couple months, and there's things that happen that we might not die, we might survive. And so there's critical documents that should be included in every estate plan. And there are three that stick out the most, or three that are most significant. One is your California Advanced Healthcare Directive. The second is your durable financial powers of attorney. The third is your final disposition instructions. And something that we touched on in the last episode, there's actually a fourth one, but we already covered this, are your standalone guardianship nominations. Now, if you want more information on standalone guardianship, nominating guardians to take care of your children, then you want to refer to episode 4 in the series. Mm-hmm. But we're going to talk about today just those three: the Advanced Healthcare Directive, the Durable Financial Power of Attorney, and the Final Disposition Instructions.
Wow, that's a lot, because I do know that there have been some listings that I've had before where there was issues with what was going to happen with the house, and there was always something incomplete. So we want to make sure that we have the complete package together.
Absolutely. And so starting off with that Advanced Healthcare Directive. Now, what is that? Well, Advanced Healthcare Directive, what that does, that allows a third party who you know and trust to step in your shoes to make critical healthcare decisions when you cannot. For instance, if you're in a car accident, or for some reason you've grown gravely ill, you're hospitalized. You
like
cannot
right
speak.
now during
Like
this
right
pandemic.
now, the pandemic. Well, we have Americans and people all over the world who are on ventilators and in intensive care units. Who speaks for these individuals? Mm-hmm. And you can say, well, if you're married, you can say, well, my spouse is going to speak. But what if you're in a car accident? And what if your spouse is laying in a hospital bed right next to you? Mm-hmm. Now who speaks, right? If you're single and unmarried, who legally speaks to you for you? And there's these healthcare laws out there that are designed to protect the privacy, your privacy, and the plan. To keep it quite frank with you, the hospitals don't want to get sued. Right. So they're not going to just release personal information about your health condition, nor are they going to consult with you unless they have the legal documents that allow them to communicate with you, being a third party, that person being a third party. And only you, the person who has been injured or is unconscious at the time, can make this appointment while you are healthy and in your right mind and able to do so.
Yeah. These are tough conversations, because you have to think about that. And there are cases now during this pandemic where both married couple has gotten sick and they're both in the hospital.
There are entire families that I've counseled with and spoken with where the whole household is either been sick or hospitalized.
Wow.
So right now, these are critical times to have this California Advanced Healthcare Directive in place. But we
Yeah.
take it a step further. So same scenario, perhaps husband and wife are on a ventilator, or they've been injured, seriously injured in the car accident. But what about the finances? Well, who pays this mortgage? We're talking to homeowners here. Well, who's going to step in and pay your mortgage on your behalf?
Right.
Your cousin or your brother, or they can't just walk into the bank and say, hey, my sister is ill. I need to access her account to be able to pay her mortgage. The bank's going to look at that person like they have two heads.
Right.
You know,
They're still going to want their payment.
Exactly. The mortgage company, they're still going to want to get paid. Well, what document allows a third person to step into your shoes, someone that you trust, of course, to handle your financial affairs? That's your durable financial power of attorney,
Okay.
which should be a central piece in every estate plan, someone who you know and trust. Now, this right or this privilege can be triggered upon your incapacity. So a lot of people are worried and say, hey, well, I don't want to give this person access to my bank account. Well, if it's set up the right way, we can design that to where it would only trigger upon the doctor's approval or the doctor's acknowledgement of incapacity. So there's safeguards in there built for you to help protect your finances. But if you cannot speak for yourself, and if you're married, if your spouse is also in the situation where they can't handle your affairs financially, having that person to step in your shoes, to provide money for your children, to pay your mortgage, to make sure your good credit is protected, this document is vital.
I bet you many people didn't think about that, protecting the credit part. And that
Absolutely.
Massive.
Think about it. How difficult was it to even qualify to purchase this home? You had to have your credit in order.
Right.
And now the unspeakable happens to you and you survive, but now your bills go unpaid because no one can walk into and what's the alternative to these two documents? The Advanced Healthcare Directive and the Durable Financial Power of Attorney is going to the court and petitioning the court to give you the authority to operate on this person's behalf.
Wow.
And think about the time and the expenses that's involved with now having to petition the court to handle someone's personal or financial affairs.
Yes, it's easier to get this done beforehand than after. And I can attest to that. We are living through that right now. And having it done when the person is in a right mind makes all the difference in the world.
Absolutely. Whether you're 25 or 85. And so we like, and about in this series, we're debunking a bunch of myths here about, hey, I'm young, I'm in great health. Well, look, anything can happen to any of us at any time. So we can't take for granted because we have good health and things are looking up for us now that things won't take a turn for the worse even tomorrow.
Right.
That's called life. It's called life. And the third document that we want to touch on here for time's sake is your final disposition instructions, which is also, we consider an essential document for every estate plan. Does your family know your final wishes in terms of, would you like to be buried? Would you like to be cremated? Have you made special arrangements with a funeral home that your family has no idea about? Right. We always like to say with families, we're talking about something happens. Well, mama said this, or daddy said that. Well, how about mom and dad took the extra step and they actually wrote it down and signed it? Right. So that it's clear and there's no dispute over what mama said. There's no dispute over what daddy said they wanted to happen to them. We have their estate plan and we have their what's called final disposition instructions included.
Wow. And that's where I see a lot of breakdown and upset when those families who have lost their loved ones don't really know what to do or where to turn, and it becomes a mess, really hard if they need to sell the home or what happens. I've actually seen it where I've had to meet with family members separately because clear instructions were not left by the ones who've moved on. So it's I can attest to this in real estate. Definitely, I see this more often than not. And you really definitely want to avoid this and be very clear about what you want done, period. It's not a pleasant thing to talk about, but it's even worse when the families don't know what to do.
And you're right, Laura. Death is such a taboo subject. It's not, like we've mentioned this before, it's not the popular topic at the dinner party at all, but it's the responsible topic. And what the savvy families and the savvy individuals and planners do, they have these discussions, they get their documentation in place, they have them reviewed every few years just to make sure life changes haven't occurred, and then they move on with their lives.
Yeah.
You have the conversations, you review, you move on.
Yeah. Well, I know for a fact that I am including all of this information for my clients, and I'm challenging my clients who are watching now, who always get my newsletters with these types of information, to actually reach out to you, Cedric. So we have all of your information at the end, but tell everyone how they can contact you and how they can get a consultation with you.
Well, you can contact us via email at info@legacyoneLaw.com. That's legacy, the word one, O-N-E, law.com. You could also contact me directly, our office directly via phone, 323-405-7017. And in the caption, we should have this information for you as well. I'm more than happy to sit down, have a free 15, 20-minute consultation, especially with your viewers. Laura, I get referrals. That's the number one way that we have business here, is through referral professionals such as yourself, our professional relationships. We get referrals from financial advisors, from real estate professionals, from tax professionals. And so we're honored to be able to serve their clients. Yes. And so if you're watching this right now and you've been putting this off, we admonish you, we encourage you to reach out to us, to at least let us take the first step in having the conversation. And then we can guide you and direct you where to go beyond that.
I'm excited about this, and this really gives people the opportunity to do things the way that they want done and have it documented and recorded. So
absolutely,
I am so
in writing
for you. I appreciate you so much coming on and educating us. I swear I learn something every time we do this, and I am very grateful for that. So I appreciate your time very much, guys. You can reach out to Cedric as he's given his information, as well as at the end of the video, we'll have all of our contact information. I am challenging you to do the right thing for yourself and your family. Even if you don't think you need to, even if you're single, you always have something that you need to prepare for later. So my challenge is for you right now to reach out to Cedric and his office and schedule that free consultation. What are you gonna lose? Absolutely nothing.
The call is free. The call is free.
Free 99 is a good thing. So guys, my name is Laura Key. I am the Realty Goddess of Los Angeles, California. I help to establish the community one house at a time. I wish you nothing but love and light and so many blessings. You can't hold them all. Until next time, be a good human. You never know when a smile is going to save somebody's life. See you next time, Cedric.
All right. Have a good one.
Sugar. Bye.
Thank you.